Welcome to another episode of Neon Radio. I'm Reese.
And I'm Dan. This week we're doing the movie Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs is a film about a young FBI agent, Clarice, who is tasked to talk to incarcerated Hannibal the Cannibal Lecter and find a on-the-run active serial killer who is skinning his victims.
Pretty gruesome for a 90s movie.
It is. 1991, I'm fairly sure.
Yeah.
And this movie took away some awards. It took away 5 Academy Awards.
Massive achievement back then.
And all the biggest ones.
Yes, correct.
It got Best Film, Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Actress, and Best Adapted Screenplay. Pretty much the simplicity of the story is that Clarice has to talk to this Hannibal, the Cannibal Lecter, to find the serial killer, as we said. But it's all the underlying themes of this story that is the most important part of it. Things like the male gaze, how women are perceived in a common male workforce.
That's a big role in this movie.
Yeah.
There's a lot of confronting scenes.
Gawking from men.
That's a good word.
At Clarice.
It's very, very good to see this in a movie. And there's also a lot of, I wouldn't say too gruesome, but creative, gruesome scenes, if that makes any sense, of how certain scenes play out.
Yeah, it's funny
hard
because
to say. Yeah.
It's hard to talk about this film without spoiling it because there's so many fantastic, so memorable and classic scenes, especially with our main villain, which is, you think it's Hannibal Lecter, but it's actually Buffalo Bill, the guy that she's after to catch.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, this movie is fantastic when it comes to its thematic representation and how it portrays it. It does it a lot through its cinematography. Mainly.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's they've done a lot of work here with the lighting. It's basically everything. This is a movie where I could probably call it a masterpiece. I'm giving the words away early. Yeah. Everything just gels. The acting, the story, the cinematography, the production design, everything's all there. And you actually walk away of it going, wow, that was an amazing movie.
Yeah, and all the characters are really well fleshed out. You have your serial killer who, like, you have your Hannibal Lecter, who is such a charismatic and so very, how could I say, he has so much
charm,
sophistication, and very polite. And you wouldn't think that because he's a monster. He eats people. And then you pit him with someone who is like Clarice.
Yeah.
Who
she's innocent, smart,
she's
and
green.
determined. Yeah.
She is determined. But she's very green with the job. And that causes... that makes Hannibal intrigued by her.
Yeah.
He has this intrigue with her because of her innocence and because she's extremely intelligent.
Yeah.
The cinematography does this thing, though, where...
We could say, there's a lot of point of view shots.
Yeah.
It's basically just straight onto the camera like I'm doing now. Yeah. And it's pretty rare to see that in movies this day and age.
But even more so, it's like straight head on, down the center barrel of the camera. And then it'll flip and we'll see a point of view of Clarice's image and what she's seeing, which is like the gawking of other men in the room with her.
It's very confronting.
It is. It's ultra confronting.
Yeah.
And it makes you feel very uncomfortable, which is a fantastic way to, represent that.
Yeah.
So I think that on that front, thematically, the cinematography helps the most with the themes of the film.
Yep.
From there on, we do have the production design, which is phenomenal. I think, and it's subtle. In the way that something like...
It's just believable.
But it's in the way that something like Prisoners is subtle.
Yeah.
Or Seven.
Yeah.
I mean, Seven maybe not so subtle. It has its moments. Yeah, I know, like the actual murder scenes are like pretty on the front, front line. But things like having Hannibal's cage be glass helps with being able to shoot the film, number one, and also connect with Hannibal more.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. It does help. There's also the when he's caged in bars, you'll see. And there's a very creative thing that's very subtle there. I don't want to give anything away, but I thought that was done well.
And another theme of this is rebirth, which I forgot to go over. But it's a strong theme in it. It's the theme with the moths, it's the theme with Buffalo Bill, and it's also the theme with Hannibal in its own respect. So I think that on that front, it's awesome.
Sir Anthony Hopkins, he will be forever remembered in this role. Like,
Yeah.
it's so good.
And also, the last thing I'd like to talk about when it comes to just the general overview of the film is the editing and pacing.
Oh, yes.
It is perfect.
Yeah, it's a long movie. Hour and 50.
Yeah,
hour
and
50
it
minutes.
feels like what?
An hour and 20. Hour and 10.
Easy.
Yeah.
It feels like it's like it just a click of a finger.
Yeah,
This film.
it just flows so well.
Yeah.
Like, you should watch it.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely the movie that has influenced crime films probably for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Still influences them today with Mindhunters.
Yeah.
It influences it with Gone Girl. I mean, a lot of Fincher films. Obviously, it's done its due diligence on him.
Yeah. If you like this movie, check out David Fincher's work. He's a modern director that sort of targets this crime genre. Amazing work.
And I think that for the acting wise, Jodie Foster and
Yeah, man, it's the chemistry between them two
is amazing.
amazing. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Final thoughts on this. Personally, I think it's exactly what we've said. It is a masterpiece, and it'll forever go down in the annals of history for film. I'm giving this movie a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, it's a good score.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 for this.
Yeah.
Yep, perfect.
All right. So
Before we go,
yeah.
if you have any comments, put them in the comment section below. And any movies you want us to review or go over, just, again, put it in the comments below.
And don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us obviously on YouTube. Subscribe to us here. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, on Neon Radio. And don't forget to check out Spoil Radio Podcast. That's where we have our uncensored, spoil-filled reviews of everything that we do.
Yep, and you'll see this one coming up soon.
Yep, this one will be out when this video is out. So go check it out after this video. All right.
Awesome.
I'm Reese.
I'm Dan.
And I hope you have a good week. Lights out.